Beyond the breakup, is your ex-girlfriend thinking about messaging you? After a breakup, healthy behavior includes completely cutting off communication with your ex-girlfriend. She has decided you are no longer needed in her life, and now your task is to recover and not waste energy on someone who no longer welcomes your presence. Only by doing this can you begin to restore yourself, recharge your energy, and become attractive to the opposite sex once again. But often, the question pops up. Is my ex-girlfriend thinking about messaging me? Let me start by saying this. All people follow certain psychological patterns, and your ex-girlfriend is no exception. I simply describe how these processes work. When two people start dating, a certain bond forms between them, an energy channel through which they exchange emotional energy. Every person you've had a relationship with remains connected to you through that channel, and it doesn't disappear. It stays with you for life. That's why, even now and then, you think about ex-girlfriends, even the ones you left yourself, and your ex-girlfriend thinks about you in exactly the same way. If you were in the right before the breakup, meaning you truly loved her and treated her with dignity, without mocking or degrading her, you will almost always receive a message from her first. That's what I mean by being right. The energy field after the breakup. When a girlfriend leaves, her subconscious is telling her, you are no longer needed. The reason is simple. Your energy has become unwanted. The human psyche has a natural mechanism to avoid emotional overfeeding. Try eating nonstop. At some point, you'll feel nauseous. Same principle here. At some point, a girlfriend just wants freedom, but you interpret it as her wanting to leave. Those are two completely different things. Instead of giving her space and freedom without breaking up, you begin feeding her even more of your energy. That's not love. That's egoism. You think she needs you every minute? Of course, she gets oversaturated and wants a break. Not a breakup, just a break from you. At this point, your attention and energy only increase in her life, and that leads to oversaturation. And oversaturation leads to rejection. Initially, the need for space wasn't about rejection at all, but your behavior pushes her to see you as excessive. By the time the breakup happens, she doesn't want you to do anything manly. She doesn't want you around at all. She just wants no contact. If you keep pushing, texting, calling, begging, you cause even more disgust. And the idea of messaging you? It doesn't even cross her mind. Thoughts after the breakup. Right after the breakup, your ex-girlfriend doesn't even consider messaging you. She's enjoying her freedom, and your energy still triggers emotional rejection. How long that phase lasts depends on how much you overfed her. If you were overly clingy, it can take a long time. If not, the process moves faster. Eventually, a moment comes when your energy stops causing a negative emotional response, and she just feels neutral. This is the longest stage, and during this time, she might message you, and then nothing again. But if she has transitioned from rejection to indifference, that's a very good sign. It means your value has grown slightly over time and will continue to grow. If you don't reach out and, most importantly, don't respond to her contacts at all, it's beneath your dignity to answer someone who betrayed you, unless they apologize and genuinely reflect on their behavior. Would you reply to a friend who robbed your apartment and a month later texts you, "Hey"? If you reply, you look pathetic in her eyes. And no woman wants to return to a man who looks like that. You'll be like a puppy waiting for crumbs from her table. Is that what you want? When does she reach out? If you behave correctly, at some point your energy will become attractive again, and her reaching out becomes as natural as sleeping, or the sunrise, or the tides. You're no longer disgusting to her. You're interesting again. But why shouldn't you reply just yet? Because there's a difference between being interesting to someone and them having a strong interest in you. Imagine you just started liking a girl, and she instantly jumps at you, saying she's always dreamed of you, wants to get married and have 10 kids. You'd run away. But if you've had a strong interest in her for a long time, then you'd be happy. Ignoring someone does not lower your value. These are not related, especially in a breakup. Your value only grows. She sees that you're not just clingy and needy, but that you can be different.